Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are making a brief updated preview to emphasize, articulate, remind everyone that the doors, in fact, open at 5:30 p.m. and the presentation shall begin at 6 p.m. Once again, the presentation on the lost history of Cumberland's Benjamin F. Stewart, barber, labor organizer, and confidant of Frederick Douglass and Andrew Carnegie, shall commence Friday, November 7, 2025 at the Allegany Museum in Cumberland, Maryland. All are welcome. So, lost history of Mr. Stewart. He was a barber, Howard University student, local and political activist in Allegany County, orator in Western Maryland, Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh, Ohio, trusted labor mediator, local and national convention delegate, associate of Frederick Douglass, Lloyd Lowndes, presently the only governor in the history of Maryland from Allegany County, philanthropist and businessman Andrew Carnegie, and President Theodore Roosevelt. Mr. Stewart knew all of these men as well as other notable, consequential historical figures. We're going to talk about not only Mr. Stewart, but also his family using archival primary source documents, including the city directory of Cumberland of 1859 that shows Mr. Stewart's father, Benjamin F. Stewart Sr., as a barber. We will discuss barbering with several slides. 1860 census showing the Stewart family as a property-owning free black family in Cumberland. We'll discuss Cumberland's Freedmen's Bureau of Schools, which Benjamin Stewart and his siblings likely attended. It's likely that Mr. Stewart attended Cumberland's Freedmen's Bureau School before matriculating to Howard University in Washington, D.C. Like I said, we'll use records of the Freedmen's Bureau, newspaper articles to uplift the lost history of Cumberland's Bureau School, which was the first school installed by the Freedmen's Bureau in Western Maryland before there were respective schools or contemporary schools in Washington County and Frederick County. We're going to discuss Cumberland's black barbering community extensively and Stewart's role in that community. We will also discuss some of the connections between Jane Gates and Elizabeth Stewart. Benjamin Stewart's mother was also a property-owning black businesswoman in Cumberland, as was Jane Gates. They were contemporaries. Jane Gates and Elizabeth Stewart, mother of Benjamin F. Stewart, were contemporary land-owning small businesswomen within the Green Street community of Cumberland during the 1870s and 1880s. Research has yet to identify the exact extent of the women's possible relationship and connections. However, a careful consideration of available records indicate that their children attended school together before pursuing collegiate studies beyond the Queen City. So we'll talk a little bit more about those connections. And this was just a brief preview of the first 10 to 15 slides. The presentation has about 60 to 65 slides. The presentation will be around an hour long, followed by a lively question and answer session. We look forward to seeing you Friday, November 7, 2025. Doors open at 5:30 p.m. Presentation begins at 6 p.m. at the Allegany Museum in Cumberland, Maryland. We'll see you soon.